Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Dangerous Seed. This was requested by Joey Ford, YouTube user, and this was created by Namco in 1989. I guess it was developed by a company called Tose and licensed to Namco and used on their Namco System-1 hardware. But yeah, this was released only in Japan. I had never heard of it until recently. It's a very colorful shooter with nice graphics. There's the Namco logo. But nice graphics, nice music, vertically scrolling shooter with some decent power-ups. Basically, each of your lives are different ships. And if you make it to the final stage, then all your ships combine to create a giant ship with lots of firepower. And here's, I think, the first boss, which is like a crab or a louse or something. Lovely. But I think you are fighting inside a giant alien life form, trying to destroy it from the inside and get out. This has like, I think 7 or 8 stages or something. The stages themselves aren't very long, and early on the game is not super difficult, but eventually the firepower gets to be very difficult to evade from the enemy. The ground enemies, or the small enemies, there's a power up. The small enemies are just as much, if not more so, irritating than the big enemies, because they shoot so often, and their shots easily overwhelm you. Gets very annoying, but the graphics are really nice on this game. By this point, Namco had really made their own mark in the arcade industry, you know, under their own name, not just like licensed games for other companies. But yeah, this was released only in Japan. It also had a home port, but also only in Japan, for the Sega Mega Drive. There's one of the power-ups. You have to shoot this certain creature, and then it'll yield a power-up, and you can pick it up. But yeah, the little ground enemies are really annoying. You have a life bar, and it gets bigger, I think, the further you go in the game. Right now it's only 3 bars total. Crap, and I'm already almost dead. This first boss is really pretty easy. You can shoot his big red fireballs. You just have to watch out for the other ones. You have a secondary weapon that is limited, and you can see it on the bottom right. It's stock. And the power-up that you can pick up earlier in the game can give you extra ones, or it can increase your firepower, or it can give you a warp that'll move you faster through the level, and you can't be hurt by colliding with enemies at that point. There's another secondary weapon, and you have a secondary button to fire that secondary weapon with. Yeah, those little ground enemies are really annoying. They shoot so often. It's really a pain in the ass. And with your next ship, you know, after you lose a life, it has different firepower, it seems. You have rapid fire, on this game. There's another secondary weapon. But you have rapid fire, which is pretty nice. Just hold down the fire button for a constant spread of shots. Yeah, you can get weapon upgrades. Ah, crap. You can get energy replacement to refill your meter, and see, my meter is 1 block higher than the last level. So yeah, you get a maximum increase once you beat a boss. And you can actually not beat a boss. It can retreat before you can destroy it, so you really want to try to destroy it. But I don't think there's a penalty for not destroying it, other than you don't get a bonus. No matter how many life bars you have on your meter, if a boss or mini-boss creature touches you, you're dead. So don't let them ram you. This game's okay. I mean, I love the graphics, and the music is really nice on this too. There's a secondary weapon I fired. See, the secondary weapon is different now that I have a different fighter, a different ship. And once you destroy one of those lobster things, then the other dies. Now I have a nice wide shot from the power-ups I picked up. There's another power-up. What's that do for me? It gives me another secondary weapon. Get away from me. Damn it. Now I'm hurting again. You can hear a little alarm going off when you are almost dead, when you're down to 1 life bar. This might have made an appearance on some Namco classics, or Namco's greatest hits, or whatever collections. But there I got the warp. I get to move forward, and the enemy's shots can't hurt me while I'm moving forward. There's the boss. Shots just overwhelmed me. Well, that's my game. That was Dangerous Seed. I will play again with Invincibility cheat in a little bit, just to show you the rest of the game. You can put in your initials here. You can also choose to pick up, continue from the start of the level that you left off on. Put in a credit, and then you can choose, or you can choose to go back a couple levels if you like. God bless you. Thanks. But I'm going to just show you the boss of level 3 that I destroyed there. Destroyed the target. Now we move on to level 4. Yeah, Namco was putting out some really good games by about the late 80s. I mean, obviously they made good games before that, like Pac-Man and Bosconian and Rally X and Galaga, among others. But they were really starting to hit their stride in terms of graphics and music capabilities in the late 80s with their Namco System-1 hardware. This game is pretty cool, and there's another level warp power-up, but I don't think it's a classic of theirs by any means. Shooters were all the rage by this point. Some of the best were the 1942 series, 1943 and 1941, and then the Raiden series. Yeah, missed the target enemy. you still move on to the next level. Stage 5, Mars. And now at this point, you have your ships combined, so the firepower is much better. And look how long my life meter is now. I put on invincibility cheats at this point just so I can beat the game faster and just show you the rest of the game. I was never particularly great at shooters. I did okay on some. This one, meh. It's just those. There's another secondary weapon. Some of them I was okay on, but this one with the small ground target enemies, they just shoot way too damn much for my liking, and it's hard to get away. Destroy him and move on. Destroyed the target. Now we go to Jupiter. We don't go to every planet, just a few of them. And then you face, I think, a bunch of the older bosses, which was a common plot device in a number of games in the late 80s and early 90s. You have to fight older bosses that are weaker than they used to be. You know, as you close in on the final enemy. Some weird enemies in this game. It's definitely got like a sea life type of motif, or an insect type of motif. Lobsters and crabs and louses. Weird. Now we go to Uranus. I gotta enter Uranus. Make whatever obvious joke you want. Look at all those bullets flying all over. Jeez Louise. Glad I have invincibility. Good gracious. Even those little tiny guys that go down with one shot fire a hail of bullets at you. Good God. This is ridiculous. Well, I hope you had a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I was quite happy. I got to spend a little time with my folks. Got the presents I wanted. I was pretty happy. I'm just relaxing at home making YouTube videos and chilling out with my dog. Destroyed the target. Final target is the danger seed, or dangerous seed, whatever. These little walls of enemies come into play later when you have to leave and you have to shoot your way through them. Yeah, that was the first level boss. So yeah, you have to face old bosses again. This one is considerably weaker than the last one. Yeah, I would have crashed. You gotta shoot your way through those walls. Or whatever the hell those creatures are that make up the walls. But yeah, just the little enemies in this game are what are really annoying. There's kind of a lobster type of enemy in an old NES game called or crayfish type enemy in an old NES game called what was it called? The Guardian Legend. A great NES shooter. Some big lobster enemy that those guys made me think of, the last bosses. There's that tank guy again. Some weird enemies in this game. Again, this was requested by YouTube user Joey Ford. And if you got any requests, go ahead and lay them on me and I'll get to them when I can. There's not a whole lot left in this level. And when you beat it, you get an ending sequence with the cast names. Yeah, some of the enemies' bullets you can shoot, and some of them you can't. Or the bosses. And the bosses are... I would prefer to face a boss, most of the bosses, than get shelled by some of the smaller enemies. And now this is the final boss. Shoots these little bubble things at you that break up into smaller bubbles. Not sure what the hell he's supposed to be. Some giant bug with a shell that you're destroying with your shots bit by bit. This game's okay. I'm just gonna purposely appear on him so I can just shoot him and make sure he doesn't try to get by me or something. I wanted to make sure he was destroyed. Yep, and that's that. You get points for your remaining life bar pieces. You are praised for your... I didn't read that in time. Huh. Not the gigantic, colorful explosion I was expecting. Kind of disappointing. I wanted to see it blow up in fiery bits. And here is the staff list for... Well, I didn't see what they said, but it certainly didn't say dangerous seed. But at any rate, it's got little caricatures of each staff member. But that was Dangerous Seed by Namco and also, I guess, Tose. But ran on a Namco System-1 hardware. Yeah, not too terrible a game. I mean, not one of Namco's best right around that time. Definitely a colorful, beautiful, and aurally pleasing game. Nice music, I mean. But I hope you all had a very, very Merry Christmas, and wish you a very Happy New Year when it rolls around. That was Dangerous Seed by Namco and Tose in 1989. Colorful vertically scrolling shooter, requested by YouTube user Joey Ford. And again, I will put in my initials. There's other characters besides the letters that you can put in, I guess. I didn't get to see what they were. But at any rate, that was Dangerous Seed. And I beat all the stages with invincibility. But that was Dangerous Seed by Namco and Tose for the Namco System-1 hardware in 1989. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Dangerous Seed by Tose and Namco in 1989, and I will catch you later with another video. See you then, folks. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.